Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. Tonight, not ladder racing action, we're jumping into some dirt racing series action tonight. This is season 12, stage 2. It's going to be a team time trial, but kind of a little bit different of a team time trial. I'll explain it as the race goes on. The course we're going to be racing on is Zwift Games 2025 Queen race circuit, but it's not the full one. It's going to be a custom finish at 27 kilometers, which is about just after the INZA KOM starting point. So let's jump into the action tonight, and I'll sort of explain the race format, and let's just get things rocking here. All right, so here we go, starting the race. So in the lineup tonight for the Rhino squad, we've got Adam, Anthony, Edge, Alex, Steven, Thomas, and Tom, and myself racing. So 8 riders from the Rhino squad, the rolling Rhino squad actually, to get more specific. So the way this race is formatted is it's a time trial in the sense that it's the time of your 4th rider over the line. So basically, we have 8 riders in the race tonight, but really the time will stop for our team once the 4th rider goes over the finish line. It should be get a little spicy, as I say, with the climbing sections tonight. So let's sort of pick it up, the race action, where things sort of get a little spicy, and then we'll sort of go from there. All right, sort of heading into the volcano here, and the pace has been steady, but you know what? In my signature move, there goes Steven a little bit off the front, but I'm going to push through and see if we can sort of stretch things out a little bit here. You know, keep it a little bit spicy. Don't want things getting too, you know, slow before we get into the climbing section. So here we go. We're going to group back up, but you know what? Sort of strung things out, keeping everybody sort of, you know, on their toes, let's say. And we'll pick it up. We're going to head over to the island there, and we're going to start the Jarvis KOM. So let's pick it up over there. All right, first climbing section for tonight. We're going to do the Jarvis KOM. Pack is all together. What do you got here? We got about 45 riders in the group tonight. There may be 1 or 2 that are off the back there, but more or less everybody's together. So, not sure how this is going to go, how hard they're going to push. You know, obviously this is a team strategy race, and you know, obviously the teams want to keep their riders, at least their 4, if not more, together on these climb sections. So I'm more or less going to push the front just because there's Edge there moving up as well, and there's Adam from our team. So I basically don't want to get slung out the back on this climb. That's always my concern. And of course, there is only, I forgot to mention this at the beginning, there's only 1 power up for this entire race, which is the feather. I'm not planning to use it here. I got to hold that for, you know, much later in the race. Here we go, pushing up through the red section here. More or less, you know, there is draft. There is a bit there, but there we go. All our Rhino riders are more or less together. We're going to go through the banner, and, you know, we're going to keep the pace up because this could be a spot, as you can see in the map in the top corner there. It is all strung out right now. The whole race, you know, this could blow it apart right here, and we definitely want to have at least 4 of our riders up in this front group. There's lots of riders here, lots of Rhinos up front here. We got good presence of our riders, so not an issue at this point. Also, you'll notice during this race, there is no steering. So there's times when I'm way out the side and not getting any draft. But once again, keeping the pace up. I see that there are gaps behind, and yeah, we definitely want to try to break this race up, you know, at any point. If we see that we can split it up, we definitely want to do it. But on these downhills, it does become pretty difficult. I cannot stretch this out on a downhill with my weight, for sure. But yeah, it's going to collect back up at the bottom here. And then, yeah, we'll pick it up further up the road. This is always a section in any race you're in where it pushes up here on this gravel part here. And it always seems to be a part where everybody seems to get lit. I'm going to move to the front once again. Sort of controlling the pace, I guess, but there's some really strong riders in this race, so it's not like I'm like, you know, hey, follow my lead sort of thing. I just want to stay at the front and, you know, obviously keep the pace up a little bit. Once again, it's also a spot where things can get sort of strung out, and then there's this little bump here. Here comes Edge up with me, and, you know, we're putting in some effort here. There goes Edge, and I'm going to follow his wheel and go over the top of him and keep the pace up through this little section here, because we obviously do not want people to really get a chance to get a good break or a good rest on this race course. You know, there's going to be some climbing coming up, but at the same time, we want to keep the pace up high for this race. Okay, so this was a part of the course where we decided to do a little bit of a strategy here. We sent Steven off the front. He's our big power numbers man. He can really push the watts on these flat parts. So we decided to send him to the front and set the pace up, you know, so everybody really wouldn't, you know, get a chance to rest too much before the climb start. So great job, Steven, for increasing the pace there for us, and making all the other teams, you know, work a little bit harder. So there's the red. So the fun is about to start. What can I say? Little blue section and then red. And you know what the red means, right? Red is going to be over 10%. Let's just see how it goes here up high. Okay, so we're at 8, 8.5, 9, still going up. 10, do we see 11? Can we hear 11? Okay, so 10 was about the max there in that red section there. And yes, we have our strong riders moving to the front. Our climbers have moved up. And honestly, this climb, I've done it a couple times now, not a ton of times, but I just find that I can't settle in to a good pace. You hit these corners here, and that was up 12% there. Edge is a little bit in front of me. There's one of the coalition riders there. And there is a tiny bit of draft. You can see there, not a whole lot. And I'm getting a little concerned right here because there's a gap of about 6 seconds now up to the front. And it's fine. We've got our, you know, we've got our 4 up there. We're good for numbers. I think actually we might have 5 up there, but we're good for numbers. But I'd really like to be up there with the boys, and I need some way to get up there, and I also do not want to blow up. Now, we've gone back to a yellow section here, so I'm like, okay, so let's settle into a bit of a pace, and I see a rider up in front of me there. Let's see, I'll try to get up to him, but also, right now, we got a bunch of riders that are passing me, and at this point, I'm like, okay, it is time to grab a wheel, and it is time to get some draft, and that was basically my strategy right now, is to stay with this group. We got TSC, and we got Z-Sun there, some really strong riders, and let's just see what happens here. I'm not gone into panic mode. I'm like, oh crap, I'm slung out the back, race is over for me tonight. I can see that we are definitely making time on this front group, and I've got a bunch of Rhinos up there I'd really like to group up with. So let's see how this plays out here on the climb. The steepest part is obviously over, and yeah, there's definitely draft. You can see my draft page there. We got about 30 there, so that's excellent. And we're going to go over the top here. And yeah, what do we got down to? About 4 seconds there from the group. So this is looking pretty good for me. I don't want to go in the front of this group because obviously I don't want to bridge these riders up to my Rhino buddies. But as we crest over the top of the hill, I noticed that it's down to about 2 seconds, I think, at this point. And I'm like, oh crap, do I go now? Do I go? So I decided to put in a dig, thinking that I could maybe just, you know, snap these other guys off from behind me. But that wasn't the case. I was not going to be able to make up that time in this downhill. So I'm like, forget that. Edge told me to stop anyways. So I like to listen to instructions. So Ed said, Brian, stop doing that. And I also noticed behind me, Anthony is also behind. And there's my nemesis there, Ashley. So Ashley's going to join up with this group as well. There's Ashley. Good job, Ashley. And yeah, so we got it down. You can see the riders in front there. They're not too far ahead of us, but I see this grouping back up, so I'm gonna rest a little bit here, surf some wheels, and wait and see how this sort of collects back up now. All right, so managed to group back up. So we basically have 6 of our Rhino riders up front here. Steven and Alex, that climb there sort of, you know, it was a tough one for them. That's all good. You know, we have all-around riders in these events, so everybody sort of shines in different ways. So we're going to head over the suspension bridge. Like I said, 6 riders up here, and more or less through this jungle section here. The group's going to stay together, and then we're going to head over and start the next climb for tonight's event. So also at some point here, there was only the one coalition rider, Ashley, that was up in this front group. And at some point, yeah, she had to slide back and help her other riders. So that was unfortunate. She couldn't stay up with us and race the rest of the race. But you know, these are team races and team tactics and team responsibilities. So unfortunately, Ashley had to head back and you know, help her other riders. So good job, Ashley. And yeah, maybe we'll see you on the next climb. All right, going to make a left-hand turn, and we're going to start the Mountain KOM section for the race tonight. It's about 2 kilometers long. Average grade is probably around 3.5%, so very draftable. And you can tell by my draft gauge there. And also, there are sections there where it's blue. So obviously you can push a little bit on those sections if you need to make up a little bit of time on the pack. Level 70, excellent. Great job, Brian. Okay, so up front here, we still have Adam, Thomas, Tom. Edge is still there. I think Anthony has slipped back, so he's off the group right now, off the back. And yeah, the pace has obviously increased a little bit, but I'm not going to go to the front. I'm going to try to use the draft as much as possible on this climb and try to get over the top with the group. TFC has some really strong riders. There's Dirt, obviously. Z-Sun is in there as well. So everybody's in great contention right here. But as I was saying before, it's the time of our 4th rider over the finish. We've got 2.3 kilometers to go in the race. So yes, this is critical. I think I'm probably going to be the 4th rider in this group. Edge has slipped back off the pace here. Great job tonight, Edge. So yeah, yeah, these other Rhinos that I'm with here are some serious climbers, let's just say. Adam, Thomas, and Tom. So yeah, let's get over the top here together. About 2 kilometers left to go. We're going to hit the banner at the top, the KOM banner, and then it's going to flatten out a little bit. Final little push up the top here. People are using their feather. I decided still to hold on to mine. I'm going to hold it just near the end of the race. It's going to kick up, and that's where I'm going to try to use it. Okay, so flattens out through the banner. And yeah, I'm hurting a little bit here. I'm hurting, but I also see that it's only 1.4 kilometers left to go, and there's not going to be much climbing left in the race. So, yeah, how many are up in the front here? Well, 11 riders, basically. Anthony has slipped back there. He's 20 meters back now as well, so he's off the pace. Okay, here we go. Getting down here, 1 kilometer to go. Now, I kind of screwed up here a little bit. Okay, so there's the start of the ITSA KOM, but we're not going to do very much of it. Just the starting point. So there's the orange. I'm going to hit my power up. I'm going to use my feather, but I tend to slip back a little too far here in the pack as we're approaching 500 meters. And much like any finish of any race, there's going to be some sprinting. There's going to be, you know, everybody's going to increase their speed. And I kind of just slipped a little bit too far off. Let's go back to regular speed here and see how this plays out for the final couple meters.
Oh, yeah.
Think so?
Oh, yeah.
I see. Oh yeah, Brian.
I tried, guys.
TFC.
I tried.
Rhino. TFC.
Yeah, I don't know. Ham says dirt, so that might be Havoc.
All right, race wrap-up time. Well, that was the second race in the dirt racing series tonight. Yeah, so it was a team time trial, but obviously there was draft with all the other riders on the road. So we had 8 riders in our group tonight, but it was going to come down to the time of the 4th rider over the finish line. And so first climb, I lost the front group, 6-7 seconds. I think they were in front of me. I couldn't bridge it up on my own. Another group came up. I grabbed their wheels. We managed to get all back together. I almost had a point there where there was 2 seconds. I was thinking, oh, I'm going to try to bridge before they get away on that downhill section, but wasn't going to happen. So I sat up, waited for the group to catch. Anthony was in the group there too. So we all grouped back up again, waited for the next climb, which was more my style, where it's like 3.5, 4, maybe 5% sections. That's more my style for climbing. Settled in, made it over the top of the group, and then it flattened, and there was another climbing section after that. Hit the power up, and I don't know, the last 500 meters, I'd like to have a redo on that one. You know, like redo sometimes in races. That'd be my redo section. I should have pushed more up to the front and got with the front group there to get over the line, because there was some dirt riders in that front group there. that I should have pushed harder to because I was the fourth rider in our group to get the time for our group. So anyways, retrospect, I should have pushed harder at the last 500 meters, but I didn't. Anyways, that's the way it goes sometimes. You think about how you should have done things differently. Hope you enjoyed the action. Another fun night hanging out with the Rhino boys. So as always, subscribe, like, comment, come back anytime, and ride on.